Hey guys, I'm just gonna come to you guys with a quick story time to let you guys know basically what happened. Probably about the first 3 or 4 days while I was in the DR. Um, if you guys are interested, stay tuned. Hey guys, it is South by Aquila, and as you all know, I did go to the Dominican Republic to have my tummy tuck and lipo. So I just wanted to let you guys know basically what happened with me. Um, and my tummy tuck was done by Fergoso Baez. Well, Australia Fergoso Baez. But I did notice while I was in the DR that most of the people there just call her Fergoso. So that's why in my videos you mostly hear me say Fergoso Baez. But so anyway, um, and to let you guys know what to expect, you know, when if there are some people that's looking to get these procedures done, you know what you can expect. So I flew in on a Sunday. Um, I got there about, and my surgery was supposed to be on Wednesday. So I basically got there early because I wanted to have a day to relax, enjoy the beach, get a peace of mind and all of that good stuff. And it actually didn't really happen that way, simply because I ended up having surgery on Tuesday. So when I got there Sunday, I stayed at Opulence Recovery House. Um, I picked one of their drivers. His name by the name of David. So basically, when you get your driver is going to take you everywhere you need to go. Um, whether it be them dropping you off and picking you up, or bringing you to your appointment and waiting for you while you get your appointment done and then bringing you back to your recovery house. So David was really cool, and I will do a review on Opulence Recovery House and also talk about the driver and everything else in that video. But so when I got there and got through customs and everything, David was there holding my name. Um, he and I had communicated um, a few days before and on that day. So I had already let him know that I was boarding my flight and what time I was going to be there. So, and he sent me a picture of him. So I already knew what he looked like to, be ready for who to look for. So when he took my bag, and then I told him I had ordered a beauty in a box. So we began looking for the young lady that does the beauty in the box because, of course, he knows what she looks like. So we didn't see her. So David has a Wi-Fi block in his pocket. And so he's like, well, just connect to my Wi-Fi. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he put in the password or whatever. So I reached out to her, and she basically showed me that she was holding my name up and showed me what outfit she had on. So I'm like, well, she said she's over here or whatever. So me and David kind of walked back in again and kind of did a little circle where, because when you come down, there's like a bar and like, food places and all of that type of stuff when you're coming out of customs and all of that. So we found the lady. Basically, we followed her to her car, and she had got a cart and took the beauty in the bag out, and the thing was like huge. So she follows us to David's car or whatever with the beauty in a box. I gave her her envelope because, as you guys know, I talked about in my previous videos how once you get your money and stuff for your separate things that you have to pay for, just put it in the envelope. So that's the easiest way to, keep track and stay on top of how much money you have and what you're taking and everything else. So I had 260 already in the envelope, so I did give that to her. Um, and she is really, really nice and gorgeous. She has like red hair, and I don't know who did her body or if she had her body done, but she is banking up. So anyway, so we get in the car, and it was at night, so the traffic wasn't too bad. He took me. We got to the recovery house at probably. I am sweating, sorry guys. But we got to the recovery house. It was after 9 when we finally got to the recovery house. Um, there was a nurse there. I only met her that one night, so I do not remember her name. But she was there. My surgery sister, Monica, was there already. She had got there earlier in the day. And there were two girls from New York there. They were really dope. They actually ended up leaving the next day. So we only hung out, that first night, which was Sunday night. And we are friends on Facebook. So hey ladies, if y'all are viewing my video. But we was just, getting acclimated with with the whole recovery house. They was asking how my flight was, basically where I was from, because my surgery sister, I want to say she got there, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, so she had already met them, and we were all kind of just hanging out in the house. They had made lasagna, which was so delicious. So she brought me my food, and then everybody else was like, "Oh, we hungry too." So they trying to pull out they Google Translate, and I'm like, "Están hambre," which means they're hungry. So the nurse went downstairs and she got everybody's stuff. I started bringing up everybody's trays and stuff. So that was cool. So we all ate in the girls from New York room or whatever while we were sitting there talking and having fun or whatever. Her cousin had got a BBL, and then the other girl had got like her tummy tuck and arm lipo and all of that. So I was like, okay. Which, oh my God, that's something that I'm definitely interested in. And then I will also do a round 2 video, because I am doing a round 2. I don't know when, because I think I want to go to Brazil next year, which is a whole nother topic. But anyway, back to my story. So after we got done eating or whatever, we went in our room. So me and my surgery sister was catching up and talking, because that was like our official time meeting. We had met through the group, Baez's group. And so come to find out, her twin sister had surgery already with Baez, and that's how me and her linked up, because me and her twin sister was, had became on, really good rapport. And then her sister was due to, wanted to have surgery and had booked, and kind of find out we booked like within a day of each other. So, that's how we became like this. So, yeah, so we went on ahead. I think we set our alarm for probably like 6 o'clock. So Monday, we got up. We had our prayer. She read a scripture. And then, so come to find out, my surgery sister, a few days before we got to DR, she changed her doctor. So she went to a different doctor, Dr. Moda. But I was still going to Dr. Baez. So we ended up having to go to 2 different clinics. So when David picked us up, David had to take her to her clinic, and then he took me to my clinic. So Baez had so many girls in there waiting. I want to say it was 4 of us. Me, Nari, Olivia. It was 5 of us. So for the 5th girl was actually there waiting. No, the sixth girl was waiting because she was having issues with her blood pressure. So she didn't know whether or not she was going to have surgery on that day or not. And then the five girls had came to get their labs done. So basically, crack this window. This is the door. I'm trying not to wake nobody up. But anyway, so when you go downstairs to get your labs done, Manny took us downstairs. Basically, you pee in a cup, they dry your blood, and you get a chest x-ray. So when we were waiting on the cardiologist to get there, they said he had an emergency. So he was like real late. So as he basically called me in and read my chest x-ray. But anyway, there's a little cafe that's right by the clinic. So we went and ate lunch and all that stuff while we were waiting for the cardiologist because we had to fast. We couldn't eat nothing. So everybody was hungry as hell. So it's a decent little cafe or whatever. They had all different type of stuff. So I don't even remember at this point. I think I ate chicken and beans or something. I don't remember what I ate at that point, but the food was good. So basically, as I was saying, when the cardiologist called me in there, he said that I had an enlarged heart. So he asked me had I had any previous medical issues with my heart, blah, blah, blah. And I told him no, I didn't. He did my blood pressure. My blood pressure was fine. He did the EKG on me. My EKG was fine. However, he was like, to be 100% sure and safe, I want you to do an echocardiogram. Okay, fine. So, which I had just got all of my tests and stuff, results back in the States, so I know, I was good to go on everything. But I do, like and appreciate that extra precaution, just so that the doctors know what's going on and what they're dealing with, So we ended up having to kill some time, and we wanted to go to the beach, but it really wasn't enough time to go to the beach and all of that and wait for the lady to do the echocardiograms. So the echocardiogram was $50 US, so I had to pay for that, which is not included in the cost of your surgery. So that's why it is very important, guys, to bring extra money, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to need, because some ladies get there and end up needing, blood pressure meds because their blood pressure is really, really high or something like that. So definitely always bring more money. So I had my echocardiogram done. And basically, I messaged Manny and was like, hey, echocardiogram done, waiting on an update. So we left and went to, the driver took me and my surgery sister to Opulence. So basically, I'm just sitting there, when we got there, they had fed us, and I want to say it was like beef and potatoes, and like, y'all, they fed us so freaking much. It was nuts. Like, I thought I was gonna throw up. I was eating so much damn food. Like 3 meals a day, and then they give you 2 snacks too. But anyway, so we just watched TV, kind of talked, hung out or whatever. I got the text. So people was telling me in the group, like, just go at 5 o'clock in the morning and be prepared for surgery. I'm like, I'm not finna get up at no 5 o'clock in the morning if they didn't tell me to go. So they're like, yeah, you did everything. He didn't text you and tell you nothing was wrong. So just go and as if you prepared for surgery. So I'm like, okay. So me and my surgery sister, we went on ahead and got our bag together for the hospital. And then, once the doctor's assistant communicates with you, they'll basically let you know what you need while you're at the hospital or whatever. So at this point, I was supposed to get tummy tuck, lipo, BBL. So once I got, um, hold on, let me back up. So after I got my bag together, then I got a, I had actually took a laxative um, Sunday night and Monday. So by the time I got up Tuesday morning at like 3 or 4 o'clock, I was, you know. So, but I was glad because I was totally cleaned out or whatever. That's not anything that the doctor told me to do. I just wanted to be cleaned out because I do know that you end up getting constipated and all of that jazz when you have surgeries. And that's just not with a tummy tuck or anything else. If you've had surgeries or anything else, that for some reason it stops your regular poop cycle, if you will. So, that's why I wanted to go ahead and, get cleaned out and, you know, call it a day. So I did all of that. Look, what do people say? Shit shaved and showered. But anyway, so the DR water is safe to shower with before surgery. So I got up, you wash with regular soap, and then you go back and wash with the Hibiclens. So the Hibiclens, well, basically, and then you're supposed to shower with the Hibiclens the night before, and then shower the morning of. So, and then before we went to sleep, Manny did tell me to come in and be ready for surgery. So that was my confirmation, which I was already ready anyway. But that was my confirmation. So, get up. David was there to pick me up. This was like 5 something in the morning. Oh, and I did want to tell y'all that Monday when we went to lab and all of that stuff, y'all, traffic is so crazy. So that's one of the things that y'all need to prepare yourself for because there are some stoplights and very few stop signs, but half of the time they don't use them motherfuckers. Like at busy intersections, they'll use the stoplights and all of that stuff, but stop signs, no. What's that? Like they do not stop. They just be driving, and it's like 4 or 5 lanes of traffic. So you in there like this the whole time, scared, clutching onto you. Yeah. So if you going to the DR, please prepare yourself for that. But yeah. Anyway, so I get there to the clinic, and it's me, my surgery sister Elle, and who else came? My boo Ian. I don't know if they want me to say their name on camera, so that's why I just said their first initial. The 3 of us was going on that day. So my boo Elle, she was going first because she had already been there like 5 or 6 days due to issues with blood pressure and all of that. So she went first, I went second, and then my girl Ian went last. So basically they call you, you get called down, kind of like a emergency room type of deal, like where you go in and they ask you what's wrong with you, and then they triage you and all that stuff. That's basically what happened. Like they took your blood pressure and all of that stuff, and then after they do that and get you admitted, like with the paperwork and all of that good stuff, then they take you up to a room. So went to the room and waited on Baez, and then Baez came in like, guys, she is just like a burst of energy, like a breath of fresh air, and she comes in like, hi my baby, how are you doing? And so I had been communicating with Baez like a year, so it was in a sense like, she's like, oh my God, you're finally here, I've been talking to you for so long, blah blah blah. And the feeling was the same because I was excited to see her too. So she came in, we talked, and I told her how much weight I had lost, and she marked me up and this, and this. So then I'm sitting there on my phone, and I don't know what time it was, but the cardiologist came in. While he came in, the girl was doing my IV and all of that stuff in my hand, and that shit hurted. But at least she only had to stick me one time because, yeah, I wouldn't have been happy if she had to stick me again. Anyway, so the cardiologist was like, well, you're 248, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. So, the girl had gave me my blue pill, and he left. So by now, I'm like, communicating with people, letting them know that I just took the blue pill, and, that I'm up next, blah, blah, blah. And, but I'm like in and out from taking this blue pill. So, Dr. Baez comes in. Well, first it was Manny. Manny came in, and Manny is Baez's assistant. So Manny was basically like, well, the cardiologist told Dr. Baez that, basically I got a lot of skin that I need to take off, and with me being at a higher BMI, he really don't want to do all of the surgeries right now. That it would be best, to do one thing and then come back or whatever. So I'm like, okay, we'll do my tummy tuck. So I'm like loopy or whatever, but I can still remember saying, do my tummy tuck. So doze back off, come, and then Baez come in. And she's like, well, baby, blah, blah, blah. And she basically said the same thing that Manny said. So I'm like, that's fine. Just do my tummy tuck. So she's like, okay. So I fall back to sleep. When I wake up this time, there was a big black guy that, that had came in, and he's like, I'm going to take you to the OR. So I'm like, okay. So he basically, put me in a wheelchair and was taking me all around these corners and all of this stuff. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So he, I go into the OR. Everything does look clean and, sterilized. The anesthesiologist is there. And he helps me get up on the side of this bed. And so I'm sitting on the side of the operating table. And he takes my hand, which has the IV in it, and the cardiologist passes him this syringe of stuff to put in my IV. And it stung like a motherfucker. So I just remember going, ow! And I looked at him kind of like, ooh. So as I'm sitting there, the cardiologist had untied my gown in the back, and he was, because you do get an epidural. So I know a lot of ladies are scared of epidurals. I don't know if epidurals are optional. That is something that you will have to communicate with your surgeon about. But yeah, so you get an epidural. So he's sitting there like, wiping my back down with, I would assume, like alcohol or iodine or whatever. And that's all I remember, y'all. So I must have was out and then fell forward on the guy because I had never laid down. I was still sitting up like this. So the next thing I know, I done woke up basically in recovery. You have to get a overnight nurse. So it's $100 US to pay your overnight nurse. And that's for 24 hours. So I can't tell you how long I was in surgery. I can't tell you what time I went in surgery. I can't tell you what time I woke up. I just know I woke up. So when I woke up, Jesse was there. Jesse is really dope. My thigh was open, and she had been, rubbing the Biofan cream on my sides. So that's one of the things that Baez does request, that you get, your overnight nurse or whoever is with you to rub the Biofin cream on you every hour. So basically what the Biofin cream does is takes down the swelling and takes down the bruising. But most importantly, it does help with bruising. So she was getting up like every hour on the hour, rubbing cream on me. Like I don't think she slept. So after probably about 4 o'clock or so, that's when, because I think I started finally messaging my family between 9, 10, I think. Don't quote me, but I don't remember at this point. But I just started messaging my family, letting them know that I had came out of surgery. Family and friends that knew I was coming. And then at that point, it was about 4. So I told her, I'm like, you can go ahead and go to sleep. I'm woke, I'm fine, or whatever. So she did take a nap at that point. Dr. Byatt, the nurse came in. And I do remember waking up one of the times, and Byatt that came in told me everything had went good, and that they was bringing me a bag of blood, and they had already gave me a bag of blood in the OR. So when that morning nurse came in, she drew my blood because they wanted to run it and see what my hemo was. So when Bias came in, she was like, "Oh baby, everything went good." She took pictures of my tummy tuck and all of that good stuff. And then basically refunded me some money because they did not do all of my procedures that I was supposed to get done. And then we discussed me coming back at a later time. So, I agreed with that. Trying to think what else happened. Oh, then she told me at that point my hemo wasn't 11 and that, I could go ahead and go back to the recovery house. So, Nurse Jessie had went and because she asked me that I want something to drink or eat. So they had brought me some soup and I had drank that. And then Nurse Jessie had went down and asked her that they had some pineapple juice. So she went to the cafeteria and got me some pear juice and some peach juice. Those were interesting. I had never drank pear or peach juice before. And then she got some it's kind of like hot chocolate. So it was warm milk and then the chocolate was melted in it. And so it was more richer than our hot chocolate here in the States, but it was so good. So, it's kind of, it was really good, and plus the hospital was cold, but I don't feel like it would be something that we would want to just go and have for a drink because it's hot there all year round. So, it's weird that they would serve that, but whatever. Because of course, I don't know about anybody else, but I prefer to drink hot chocolate and stuff like that in the wintertime. So I definitely don't drink that in the summer. So, but anyway, yeah, she basically after I got done eating or whatever, she went on ahead and helped me get dressed into my dress, and they called for the wheelchair, and then I texted David to let him know that I was ready. So at that point, I think I did finally make my post on Facebook, because I never wanted my journey to be a secret. I did tell some people before I went, but it had just got to the point that so many people were being so negative that I had stopped telling people, and I was just like, well, I'll just record and tell people my journey. So especially for those that that ultimately maybe want to go, not necessarily to the DR, but just to have plastics in general. Because you would be surprised at how many people have been reaching out to me saying they have always wanted to go, or people in the same boat as me that have lost a lot of weight and really can't afford to go in the States. So that's, the most important thing about my journey to me is the fact that I am inspiring and educating. So, to each his own. If you don't believe in plastic surgery or going to another country to do it or whatever, to each his own. So, like I always say, if you don't like it, keep scrolling. But anyway, drinking my protein coffee. But so basically, I got back. No, when I went to sit up, I kind of felt faint or whatever. So I did lay down and kind of, woosah, collect myself. And before I left, Manny did come in and try to bring me this med list. And it was hilarious because I already had like 98% of my meds. And so he just started laughing at me like, "Oh, so you came ready, huh?" I was like, "Oh, yes, I'm ready." Like, my doctor wrote me all of this and this and this, and he was looking at all of this stuff, and he was just like, "Oh, wow, okay." So, he did, like I said in the other video, prescription for nausea, which I never had nausea after I had that little bit of dizziness or whatever. Some kind of like something for circulation, and it was something. That medicated gauze. So the medicated gauze is what Baez puts on your tummy, in your belly button, so that your belly button can heal. Everybody is different, but even though it did bring the skin back on that one place I was telling y'all about, it did nothing for my tummy. For my belly. So I've been using honey and Takasol powder on my belly button, and that's what's working for me right now. So I don't know. Anyway, get back. Well, David comes to pick me up. Get back to the recovery house. They're looking at me crazy because I'm walking up the stairs backwards. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but when I had my C-section, my doctor told me if I had stairs to walk up backwards. So that's basically what I did my whole time. Guys, I haven't had a cane. Like, I was ready. I came prepared to do war, to do battle, and get back to my kids. So I only used my cane probably about 4 or 5 days. But anyway, it was just nice to have a cane. I ended up giving it to my mom, so it wasn't a waste of money. But yeah, so when you get back to the recovery house, they write down all of your meds that you have, and then the dosages that you're supposed to have and all of that good stuff. And then they basically start at that point, kind of writing down when you get this and blah, 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 blah. Every morning I woke up, I took my vitamins like regular. So, there wasn't a big deal there. That antibiotic you're supposed to eat before you take it. So I did, let them pass me the meds that, that were something that I felt like could potentially make me sick. Or, especially with the pain meds, because I didn't want to be, double dipping and doing all of that. So, I did let them give me those. But as I was saying before, the only time I did take my pain meds, I took those for 3 days. And then after that, I took it for like 2 massages after that, and then that was it. I brought back so many pain meds, like it's so unreal. However, as I stated before, other dolls that have been on this journey, they talk about how much pain they're in and everything else. And I just thank God because I did not have that pain. Maybe because I didn't get a BBL. I don't know. But again, I thank God for not having that pain. Uh, so I saw Baez like on the third day, and then that's when she basically saw that the wraparound foam was squeezing my belly button like this. So basically, it was causing friction right above my belly button and right under my belly button. And so she told me to make sure I wear my ab board to, so that my belly can be flat, so it don't be no friction. Um, so look, that was the first case of the belly button. And she's not even the one that put me in all of that stuff. Which, I mean, your foams and all of that stuff is necessary, but your skin is so sensitive and all of that stuff. You just need to make sure that you're putting everything in your layers on in the correct order, because Manny put it on with the airboard. I forget what order, but somebody switched the order and was like, that wasn't right. And then I ended up with a fucking, the damn friction burn on my belly button. But so anyway, just make sure, ladies, that you are paying attention at how people are doing stuff, because one person is doing it this way and then somebody else is doing it this way. And, you just want to be mindful of that. So, I want to say I got my first massage from John on day 3. Yep, I did. I got my first massage with John the morning before I went to go see Baez or whatever. So on that third day, they said everything was good, and she changed my dressing, and then sent me back to to the recovery house. I want to say, yep. And David took me and my surgery sister to the Faja store because we were approved to get in our stage 2 Fajas. So that was an interesting experience because it's like a store with like all of these Fajas, and they got a catalog with all of their Fajas in it. So it was just so much going on that day. So I got my Faja. My surgery sister got her Faja, and then we ended up going back to the recovery house. She suggested that we not get our Fajas taken in immediately because sometimes they do not fit. I'm so glad that I didn't, because it was like Faja Olympics trying to get me in that 3X Faja because I was so swollen in my waist. Which now, of course, is more of a piece of cake to get on. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically my first 3 days there in the DR. The nurse staff, comes in, checks on you, takes care of you. After day 3, I basically got a massage every day while I was there, and I saw Dr. Baez 3 times before I flew out. That is basically it. I made sure I posted pictures because at one point I was just over people with the girl be careful and don't drink out the mini bar and all of that stuff, that I just stopped responding to people. But I had somebody telling me to send me the driver's license number and all of this stuff. Like, dude, like, I had at that point did so much research and all of that. Like, I just was over people being stupid. Like, yes, y'all might be concerned for my well-being or my welfare or this, that, and the third, but y'all doing too much. Like, I'm a grown-ass woman. This is something that I chose to do. And, You know, I just wasn't about to allow people and their negative energies and all of that pestering and all of that stuff to interrupt my healing process. So that's that's basically what it was at that point. I just got sick of the DMs and um, people being nosy and asking fucking questions, which you already know I'm in the DR healing, and I said wait till I get back in the States, and then you can ask me all the questions you want. I still have people messaging me and texting me, asking me questions, asking me well, I was thinking about getting that done. I don't know if I need a tummy tuck or lipo. What the fuck do I look like? The goddamn physician? Like, people are just so rude and inconsiderate and fucking stupid that I just will start ignoring people. So, if anybody felt a certain type of way because of that's what I did, I'm not apologizing. My health, my welfare, and my well-being, and me getting back to my kids was what was important to me at that point. I can give a fuck less what you was thinking, how you felt about me being over there, or anything else. We were in a secured area where there was armed guards and everything else. Matter of fact, Opulence is right down from the embassy. So, shit. you look, Greg. You better get it. You better get it. You better figure it out. You better run. You better crawl. Like whatever the fuck you need to do. But anyway, that was just a joke. Nothing to be taken serious. But yeah, I was just over it. At that point, don't drink the liquor. Make sure you with a group. I'm only going out when I'm with my drivers, so I'm not catching an Uber, which I do know some girls did. I thought that was foolish just to save a buck. I'm good. I am good. I will pay whatever he need me to pay so I can get to this Western Union, which was usually like $10 there and $10 back. I'm not about to be fucking paying a Uber $3 and then you can't even communicate with the fucking driver. Granted, I do speak Spanish. I took Spanish in college. Even though that was moons ago, I still do speak Spanish. So I was able to communicate with the nurses without my Google Translate. Like 90% of the time because of the Spanish that I do still remember. So, and I do feel like it was a help to myself and my surgery sister. Let me get off of here, y'all, because this video is getting long as hell. I will again do videos on Opulence and J Massage, and I did do a video on cost that I will be uploading next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell button so you know when I am uploading videos. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support, and I will catch you in another video. Later.